Hello and welcome to part 2 of the HDL to VHDL Translator tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to look at importing our documents into Cordis and just generally setting up a new project. So when we last left off we had just run our test directory through the Python Translator.py HDL to VHDL translator, and we had just generated these VHD files. So now what we'd like to do is take these VHD files into Cordis so we can work with them. So we can close out of the command line, we won't be needing that, and let's double click Cordis on our desktop to open up that software. And here we are. So what we'll do is create a new project. And by default the working directory for Cordis will be its installation location. However, that might not be optimal if you need to get to the folder and files pretty often. So what we'll do is make a new project on our desktop, and actually I'll make a new folder, and let's call it Cordis Projects. Let's move my mouse so we can read that. Cordis Projects, and we'd like to place our project inside of Cordis Projects, so we'll select that folder. There we go. And the name of our project can just be tutorial. Let's click next. And here is where we can add our recently generated VHD files. So to do that we can double click these dots here to go searching for them. We're on our desktop, in our demo folder, come on mouse, in our test directory, and here they are. So let's select them both and add them to our project. I don't think we need to add all. Nope. Nice. Alright, so let's click next now that they're added to the project. And the board that we're working with, which hopefully you are as well, is in the Cyclone 2 processor family. And we can actually search for it by filter, by the board's name, and or we could look through it for this long list, but that could take some time, so let's just go right for the name. It's the EP2C5T144C8 board. And there she is. Let's click next there. This is for additional tools in Cordis, but we won't be using it in general, so we'll skip over that. And we have a quick summary of what we've done. So we have a new project in our directory called Cordis Projects on the desktop, and the project name is tutorial. It's using the Cyclone 2 processor. We added our two VHDL files that we generated last video. So let's finish that up. Okay, so now in our project navigator we have tutorial set as our top level chip. However, we have no chip named tutorial, so that was just a factor of creating a new project and naming the project tutorial. So to resolve this, let's go to our files, and we can look up these two chips that we added. And if you'll recall, advanced was our top level chip, and it used a sub-chip called AND group. So what we can do is right click on this chip, the advanced AND/OR, and say set as top level entity. And when that happens we can go back to our hierarchy, and now we'll see advanced AND/OR as our highest level chip, still using the Cyclone 2 processor. And if we double click on the chip itself, we can see here is our VHDL that we just generated for that chip. And just to make sure everything is kosher with our generator, we can press this button here, which does an analysis on the current file. So let's go ahead and do that. And hopefully, like this, you also find no warnings and it was successful. And just for fun, let's go ahead and open up our AND group VHD file and do the same. Okay, so in a nutshell, what we've done here is opened up Cordis, made a new project, imported our existing VHD files that we generated last video, and set our advanced AND/OR as our kind of highest level chip, the top of the chip food chain, if you will, for an entry point for Cordis to start running when we eventually load this to our physical hardware. And I believe that's all we're going to do in this video. Next time around, we're going to be setting some pins for the hardware and then pushing it over to the board. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.